19 strangest body modifications. Number 19. Permanent tattoos. Tattoos are one of the most creative forms of art. The possibilities are endless. You can choose any picture, idea, pattern, or whatever and place it semi-permanently or permanently on any part of your body, including your eyeballs. Having tattoos often makes the wearer feel more confident and creative. Plus, it is usually a great conversation starter, whether or not the tattoo is a good one or not. As with anything though, if given so much freedom, you're bound to get some strange outcomes. Number 18. Belly button removal. This one is as straightforward as it sounds. If you don't like what your mama gave you, get it removed. The belly button is no exception. Body modifiers will find and change any and every part of the body you could imagine. Some didn't find the look of a hole in your stomach to be appealing, so they simply had it removed. Number 17. Stretching out the skin. Sizing spacers are what people use to stretch out a part of their body. The modification tool is usually used to stretch the earlobe or the lips of a person's face. A lot of ears these days can be seen with the addition of gauges, which helps the user stretch out the earlobe to any size from the next size up from a regular earring to the size of a Gatorade cap, or even bigger. Skin stretching is an ancient practice that has been used forever in areas of South America, Southeast Asia, and Africa. Often you can distinguish different communities or tribes by the type of skin stretching that is displayed on its people. Number 16. Sharp teeth. Some like the look of snake or vampire teeth, so they file their teeth to form little sharp points. This may give them the desired look, but it can be very dangerous to your health. After you file your teeth, you've erased a good part of the protective coating, leaving you susceptible to pain, sensitivity, cavities, and higher dental costs down the road. If in the event that an infection and pain cannot be cured with a root canal, you could even be at risk for losing teeth. Number 15. Branding. Branding is when you hold a piece of hot metal to your skin to create a permanent mark. Doctors say you are more at risk of infection by branding yourself than you would be by getting a tattoo. According to the National Geographic magazine, branding first became popular in the States with San Francisco in the mid-1980s. Before that, branding was a service that was kept among livestock. Number 14. Magnetic implants. This body modification is commonly used when a potential wearer wishes to sense electromagnetic fields. The procedure is a small one. Tiny slits are made on the tip of each finger where a silicone-coated magnet is inserted. As with anything, there are potential risks to the modification, which includes skin infection, rejection of the implant, death of the skin around the implant, and even corrosion. Number 13. All laced up. Among some of the strangest piercings is the corset piercing. The trend begins with the creation of two lines of hooks pierced on either side of the spine, trailing down the back to just above the rear end. Once healed, ribbons are laced through each hook and tied up to look like the wearer has a corset on, even though they only have some piercings and ribbon. Number 12. Waist training. Waist training has been around for quite some time. Since the days of petticoats and horse-drawn carriages, tight-laced corsets have stuck around through the ages. Waist training is usually accomplished by wearing a tight corset, but the trend has seen its extremes, where people actually have had their lower ribs removed to achieve a smaller waist circumference. The primary risk users may face while wearing a waist training corset involve pain, indigestion, poor posture, and dizziness. Not at all worth it to have an unnatural silhouette. Number 11. The split tongue. You will typically find tongue bifurcation in tattoo and piercing shops, where the conditions are usually sterile. Tongue bifurcation is where a person's tongue is surgically split into two parts, creating a snake-like appearance. Some of the participants in this form of art call having a split tongue much like having a third arm or another useful appendage. If you decide you don't like the double tongue look, you can always get it reversed. Number 10. Subdermal implants. Subdermal implants are molded shapes that are surgically implanted underneath your skin. Your doctor makes a tiny slit in your skin, inserts the pre-selected shape, and as your skin heals, the mold takes its shape under your skin. As with any body modification, there is a risk of infection, scarring, or even permanent disfigurement may occur. Number 9. Shaped ears. Science fiction and fantasy lovers are often the recipients of this body modification. The modification takes a person's ear and slices and dices until it begins to take form. One of the most popular designs is that of an elven ear, where the tops of the ear form a point rather than being sloped as it is naturally. This is the most often seen body modification at events such as Comic-Con, other than tattoos. Number 8. Eye tattoos and piercings. Anything having to do with the eyeball is certainly at a higher risk than any other part of the body. This definitely holds true for body modifications. The application of eye piercings and eye tattoos is growing in popularity, but should be approached with extreme caution. Not only is it risky having a needle or a scalpel near your eye, but your eyes are one of the most sensitive parts of your body, and you can easily get strained and stressed. And if you ever try to have a piercing or tattoo removed from your eyeball, you'll have more scarring than any other body area, and you may not be able to see properly ever again. Number 7. Saline injections. Saline implants used to be reserved for women wanting breast augmentation, but that is a thing of the past. Saline implants are still being used to increase a woman's bust size, but now they hold a much broader role. Saline can be injected into almost any part of your body, giving it a semi-permanent appearance of bloating. The most commonly seen use of this modification is what is known as the bagel head, where saline is injected into the middle of the forehead and then pressed down to create the shape of a bagel. Number 6. Scarification. Scarification is where the skin is etched into, removing some of the upper layers of skin to create words or pictures, and when it is fully healed, it leaves something like the opposite of a tattoo. Once the lines are made, abrasives are rubbed into the modification, causing it to scar more and have a noticeable mark. This method of body modification has been used for thousands of years as a kind of social skin to mark different tribes or communities in many other parts of the world. Number 5. Nose modifications. Nose modifications are usually seen when the wearer is trying to resemble a snake, dragon, devil, or Lord Voldemort. The procedure cuts up and removes small sections of the nose, sews up the remaining pieces, and after the skin heals, it gives the appearance of a snake, or in this case, a skull. Number 4. Skull implants. Skull implants are becoming increasingly popular with all the new accessories you can simply screw onto your skull. When you get this procedure done, incisions are made in your scalp, and a base piece is inserted and allowed to heal. After you are fully healed, you can take your horns or jewelry or whatever accessory you see fit and either snap or screw the pieces into the bases on your skull. Number 3. Becoming a cyborg. With all this new age technology, it isn't surprising that some people not only want it at their fingertips, but under their skin. Many new forms of the tech body mods are popping up every day, but the most often we see is the smartwatch underneath the skin of the forearm or the packed microchip that is implanted into the back of the neck. The dream of being a human cyborg is becoming more and more realistic with each passing day and each new tech mod. Number 2. Animal instinct. People have been trying not to be human for some time now. We've seen it in instances of Ripley's Believe It or Not, as well as other shows that revel in oddities. The most well-known animal-human hybrids are Tom Leopard, the man who has had his entire body tattooed to look like a leopard, Jocelyn Wildenstein, the lady who changed her appearance to resemble that of a cat, and Eric Sprague, the man who tattooed his whole body and split his tongue to look like a lizard. Number 1. If you're not ready to commit. It's okay if you don't feel like hacking off a part of your body or splitting it in two. Here's the solution to looking strange without the commitment. You can do what this person is doing. Step 1, have gauged ears. Step 2, insert a small snake. Step 3, revel in the stares of others.
For better.